The next chapter is about to begin. Join us live every Tuesday and Thursday for brand new episodes of the American Contractor Show. Our mission is to bring you the latest tools, innovations, and knowledge to help you become the most informed contractor in your market. Knowledge is the ultimate power, and we are connecting you with the most knowledgeable minds in our industry. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. American Contractors, I hope you're ready. This one's for you.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the for changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I, as a contractor, appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor that's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
Good Tuesday afternoon, everyone. Lead meteorologist John Choquette here for our daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and Artis Summit and Balance Claims. Check them out in the description below if you're watching us here on Hail Trace's Facebook page. So jumping right into it for today, weather headlines. More hails in store across the central, northern, and even parts of other parts of the plains today. Could we see some more hail in the Colorado Front Range? Possibly today and even tomorrow. And then more hail is expected for the remainder, for tomorrow and probably the remainder of this week here across the plains, as we're in an unusually active pattern for this section of July. I'm sure no one's complaining though. We've had quite a weird roller coaster of a year so far, and I'm sure no one's complaining about July making up for a quiet May and June. So, going right into that forecast for today, assuming it'll actually load. Let's see if we can get that going there. But we do have that chance. Oh no, we got PowerPoint crashing on me. Basically, we have a chance for hail across sections of Minnesota. There we go. Minnesota, far eastern Minnesota by to the east of Minneapolis. Could probably see some golf ball size hail there into Wisconsin, parts of Iowa, even into Kansas City, maybe not so much. And the most significant area is probably going to be in eastern Colorado. Looks like some storms are going to form around Colorado Springs and push off to the south and east as the evening wears on. Could see up to that golf ball size hail. Overall, low chances across a good chunk of the population centers. I think Colorado Springs, I almost put you guys at moderate, but I think storms might kind of get their act together, similar to how they were the last couple days, where they would get their act together a little too far to the east of the population. But we could see some storms as far south as Des Moines, but I think this is going to be more of a wind threat here across Wisconsin and parts of Minnesota and Iowa. The last time I said that, it was a ton of hail, but this time not looking so much so great for that big hail. Going into that future radar, assuming I can actually get this to go. Feels like, oops, oh no, PowerPoint's having some struggles today, unfortunately. Oh, okay, there's future radar, but we're not in, there we go. Showing that future radar, see the storms, I'll have to loop it around again here, but you see the storms that roll off the mountains here in Colorado, and then you actually end up seeing some other activity forming as well. Here in Colorado, storms do form primarily south of Denver. Again, nothing looking too significant right along the I-25 corridor, pushing off to the east, and then you have another complex of storms moving across Kansas in the overnight hours. That's where you're going to see the potential for some marginally severe hail across the majority of Kansas. Some other activity bubbling up kind of to the north of Kansas City and parts of Iowa, but Kansas City itself most likely not seeing too much. Pushing up to the north a little bit here, and you can see all the activity that forms across Iowa, Minnesota, parts of Wisconsin, and it's more linear than it is isolated. So like on Saturday, we had a lot of isolated supercells. We had a ton of hail. This looks more like a line of storms. So outside of the initial development where we could see up to some golf ball size hail, it's going to be more of a wind threat as it pushes into Wisconsin and then across Iowa as well. A lot of good rain with this, a lot of thunder and lightning, not too much in the way of big hail. Pushing forward to tomorrow, where I think the Front Range has a better chance at seeing some hail, where I have right here, Denver is in that low risk. I would put Colorado Springs in that moderate risk for tomorrow. Could see up to some golf ball size hailstorms going to form off the Front Range. Again, kind of rinse and repeat from today, but a little bit better for Colorado specifically, and more interestingly, possibly into Missouri. This is really conditional. I have a moderate risk right now for St. Louis, but that's just what we're seeing from this morning. We'll have to see what this complex that's going to move across Kansas tonight does for tomorrow, because this is going to leave some boundaries for possibly some larger hail. We'll update this tomorrow. Again, a conditional risk, so it all really comes down to what happens tonight. If the models are predicting what happens right correctly, we could end up seeing some decent storms here for St. Louis, possibly even far west Kansas City. I'm saying up to golf balls right now. Again, that can change and will change, and then possibly as far north as Davenport in Chicago. Looking at that future radar, let me see what I'm talking about here. All that activity pushing off to the east, and you see some storms forming behind it, and those could be pretty intense, really focusing in on St. Louis. Further to the west into Colorado, see that activity forming off the mountains. A little bit more concentrated than what we're seeing for today. So I think we could see some decent chances for hail, especially around Colorado Springs and parts of the southern Denver metro, and even including Denver a little bit going into tomorrow. Pushing further to the east on that future radar, you can get a better shot at looking at that risk for St. Louis and possibly into Illinois and parts of Missouri. You see those storms forming kind of by Kansas City in the morning, and then really kind of blowing up over St. Louis for tomorrow. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that, of course. As always, we'll have a full breakdown tomorrow at 12 p.m. here on Hail Trace. And good segue there. Follow us on all of our social medias. We'll be updating you guys about anything that goes on, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, all at Hail Trace. Pretty easy to check out. And give us a call, 855-334-4245. Any comments, questions, or concerns, you're new to Hail Trace, got to set up a training, whatever it may be. It's a great number to call. You can email us as well if you don't like talking on the phone, info@hailtrace.com, or find out more details for yourself on our website, hailtrace.com. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. If anything does happen to go crazy, we'll do some live coverage. If not, we'll see you again tomorrow at 12 p.m. Have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you tomorrow.